tasked with finding a new treat for the introduction. Okay. Boop, boop, beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop. Welcome, this is the Film Glutton, and this is Concessions Confessions, a Disneyland special edition. The Churro Challenge, Part 1, Pre-Game. The classic Disneyland churro. Warm, slightly doughy, and moist on the inside, with a perfect crisp on the outside, so you get that ever so slight crunch. You know it's complete when it's rolled in that bed of bliss dust, what commoners refer to as cinnamon and sugar. Finally handed to you with all of its sparkling perfection in a single wax paper. Like the trillions of sparkling stars in the sky, these sticks of manna are truly humbling in their splendor and awesomeness. All have come to appreciate them over time and have paid homage. It was Shakespeare that wrote in Hamlet, "Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth be a liar, but never doubt I love you." If this is not about churros, then I don't know Shakespeare. Either way, I admit I should never quote Shakespeare again. Unless it's in the original Klingon. Doch Bach, Doch Bech! Extra bonus points if you know what that means. The history of the churro started with this man, Jim Lohman, who, in 1985, was brought to his knees as rays of light came from the heavens. God broke off one of these rays and turned it into the first churro, and the great prophet Lohman brought it to Disneyland. This was my final churro for my last trip to the Holy Temple of the Mouse. While no picture can do justice to a churro, this one does show the best way to consume one, with a nice cup of sharp black coffee. Especially when you spent the whole day in the park and have a long drive home. Okay, fine. The foolish Shiglin might have returned for some of the above info. However, the real history of the churro truly is shrouded in mystery. Some accounts provide an origin from nomadic Spanish shepherds. Other stories provide a Chinese origin with Portuguese sailors later adopting them. No matter how they came to be, when they did, it wasn't one culture that fell in love with them, but the world. Ancient Chinese, Portuguese sailors, nomadic Spaniards, and then an explosion all over Latin America. And it was Mr. Lohman in 1985 that brought them to Disneyland when he was tasked with finding a new treat for the introduction of Videopolis. If you don't know what Videopolis is, you're definitely younger than me. The story goes, he was going to test them out by the rivers of America, but he knew he had a winner when the churro cart, still in transit, had a whole line of salivating rabid tourists following it. After two opened in Videopolis, they went to the outdoor foods department and throughout the park. The rest is cinnamon history. Quick side note. While preparing this video, I stumbled upon a fascinating secret. You see, I always thought the churros in downtown Disney were from a different company because I can clearly tell a taste difference. I can't stand the ones at downtown Disney, so they have to be from a different company, right? Wrong. Well, kinda. Both are from the same company, J&J Snack Food Corp. However, they're both different versions. Here, you can see the ingredients of the downtown Disney churro, called the California Churro. Here, we have T.O. Peeps. I hope I'm saying that right. Here, we have T.O. Peeps Churro, or the official Disney churro. Notice the difference? Well, there's a few. The largest appears to be yellow corn flour. With that noted, I'd like to officially dedicate this video to yellow corn flour. We must have a moment of silence for the Floridians. I didn't research why theirs suck, but Disney Worlds are definitely not as good as Disneyland's. It's just truth. Supposedly, you can get TOs at Smart and Final. I have to try this. If you guys would like a separate video about me trying them, leave it in the comments. Or, if you've done this and tried them, leave it in the comments too. I'm curious. Recently, history was forever changed with Pixarfest. Odd new flavors started popping up all over the park. Then, a challenge. The annual pass holder Churro Challenge, based around 4 flavors. The Cocoa Churro, the Presto Rabbit Carrot Cake Churro, Kevin's Lemon Churro, and the Ants on a Log Churro. That's all the challenge entailed, but not the only new churros. We also had the Pineapple Churro, the Caliente Churro, and the Strawberry Churro. And even before Pixarfest, they tested the oil with the S'more Churro. That's why the film glutton has become the Churro Glutton. It was more than a challenge to me, it was a quest. A journey through the perilous mountains of deep fried dough to answer one question. Can any of these new flavors dethrone the original? And I want this to be a fair fight. So the contenders are only the ones I consumed in one visit. So that takes out the S'more Churro. Also, the Strawberry Churro was discontinued, but that leaves 6 churros plus the original. I mean, I had to have a baseline and control, right? First blood was drawn at noon, and the final bite was at midnight. So, in roughly 12 hours, I consumed 7 churros. Did I find my limit? Hell yeah, I did. But for you, I smashed through that high caloric wall and kept going. In the great words of Ivan Drago, I must break you. Challenge begins in part 2. Until then, this is the Film Glutton reminding you to never turn down the churro dipping sauce and never turn down an upgrade. Have a good night, folks.